Hey y'all, I'm Vanessa. Today we are doing a review and tutorial of the Black Moon Orb of Light Full Moon palette. It looks like this. 2, 4, 6, there's 8 shades in this palette with this huge one in the middle. It has a pretty nice mirror in it. So I'm gonna show you what this looked like online. Like, I so wish I could get you guys to be able to see this. Like, you see, look at that orange and that red. Like, those are not the colors. And I get it's a picture, but I was just expecting like a really vibrant, beautiful blood red. And that's not what's in this palette. Also, these are all supposed to be matte. There are some shimmers in this palette. Like, you can see them. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you on camera. And this orange is a straight satin. This one here is a straight satin. There's glitter and pretty well all the others. I don't see any in this one or this one. They have some glitter in them, so they're not true mattes. Okay, so that was immediate for me. Like, well, these aren't true matte shades. Like, you can clearly see sparkle in here, glitter. And I don't know, because I would totally understand if there were some shimmer shades in here and they just kind of transferred, but these are all supposed to be matte. Like, the card says, an entire eyeshadow palette devoted to the moon, 8 buttery matte shades, intense pigmentation, blend seamlessly, vegan and cruelty-free. So I think that they do blend great and they're very pigmented, but they're not mattes. That was one just, you know, like, what? This is supposed to be an all matte palette, but when you really get to looking in there, they're not all matte. Like, that's not a true matte to me. So on top of that, the color situation, which is fine. A picture is just that, it's a picture. But it's like they really made it more vibrant than it actually is. These are very muted. They're not super, super deep. Like, you can see on my eyes, you can kind of sheer them out. But it's just kind of up in the air. You know, I want to let you guys know about those certain things before you go to buy it, thinking it's going to look similar to the picture when it doesn't. And I mean, I get a lot of eyeshadow palettes aren't exactly as the picture, but most of them are pretty dang close and they are similar, and this one is just not similar to me at all. So I wanted to let you know those issues that I had, but I'm gonna hush and we are going to get into the tutorial of this $50 palette that I got from Ulta. Let's go. Okay, so we are going to get into the tutorial. I am first gonna start out with this big shade here, and we're going to set the concealer down. And this shade, I'm not really sure why it's such a big pan, like, compared to the others, and there is quite a bit of kick up there, as you guys can see. But I totally don't get why this one is so much bigger than the others. I wouldn't use, like, I get if it was a little bit lighter even, but I wouldn't use this shade that much more than the other shades. So that's a critique for sure. It's not really setting it down enough. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some powder because that's not setting it down as much as I like. I like a pretty matte base. All right, I'm first gonna start out here, then here, and then here. And I think on camera, like, this shade is showing to be a little bit brighter than it actually is. It's like a muted, deep brown red. It's still got some red in there, but it's not red. So just be aware. All right, I'm taking my Morphe M535 with the first kind of mustardy shade. We're gonna start out putting this into our upper crease area, blending back and forth and in circular motions. And I'm really gonna drag these shades out. I think I wanna go pretty smoky today. And these are supposed to be like highly pigmented. This shade I really wouldn't consider highly pigmented. It could just be where it is so close to my skin tone, but it's taken me, I've dipped in 4 times, so it has taken me quite a bit to get this up to the pigmentation that I wanted. All right, we're gonna go in with the orange shade next. Like, there is no question there. This orange right here is a satin shade. That is not a true matte. So take that into consideration. All right, now this shade's packing a punch. My only concern is that it's going to muddy up. Like, it already kind of looks like it's a little bit muddy. All right, I have a Real Techniques brush. I'm gonna go in with that red color. Put this on the outer edge. Yeah, these shades are pigmented. That first shade, it must have just been where it was so close to my skin tone. And I'm doing the same thing here. Just really, like, a whole lot of circular motions going on. Because holy cow, these are pigmented. And I'm gonna add a little bit more and bring it up. I really like this shade. It's not red. Like, you know, when you think of red, it's not like that. It's much, much more dark and kind of muted. I can't really think of the right words for it, but you see it here in the pan and you see it on my eyes. It's not bright at all. Now I'm going to grab some Shape Tape and we're gonna cut this crease and we're gonna see how this goes where it's all matte. we're gonna try. It may not work. If not, we'll cover it up. Concealer is on my hand and I have a little bitty flat synthetic brush. And we're gonna start cutting half of our crease. I'm not doing a full cut crease, but I always take mine up into the crease just to make my lid appear larger. If you have smaller lids, this is a great, great trick, especially where I have so much space up here. I want my lid to appear larger. And I'm so sorry if you guys can hear that. It is windy outside, like, it's insane. And you can probably hear my wind chimes because they're a-moving. It's crazy. Yesterday was like beautiful. It was like 70, 75 degrees here. And today it's the same temperature, but we're supposed to get thunderstorms later and it is windy AF. So I'm going to try taking this shade right here and we're gonna put that all over our lid. So I'm just gonna pat this on. And it's not making a whole lot of difference there, but you can see it. I'm gonna grab just a smidge of that orange and run it right along our line here to put it on the brow bone, but it's really just, it's not light enough. Like, this shade just does not make any sense to me. That one's really throwing me off, and especially where it's the biggest pan. Like, if you're darker skinned, like if you are much darker than me, you may be able to use that shade as a highlight, but I'm medium to tan, and no, that is not a highlight in any way, shape, or form. It didn't do a good job of setting everything, so I'm not a fan of that shade. I can tell you that now. But yeah, it looks really good. I don't think it looks super muddy, and I was really worried about that. So I'm gonna go off camera, do this eye, get this face on, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, I wanted to come back on really quickly and let you see this. As I was doing this eye, I noticed that the red color is very different on both of my eyes. Like, this one is far darker than this one. I believe the shade is oxidizing. Like, if I give this a little bit of time, I bet you it's gonna look like this one. Like, it is kind of crazy. Like, I'm almost certain the shades are oxidizing. Like, I don't know if you can see it on camera, and I've been doing this eye for quite some time now, but they're very different. So we'll see how this looks when I get done, but I wanted to pop back on and show you guys that. Okay guys, this is our finished look, and I am so torn on this palette. It's a beautiful palette. I don't think all the shades are matte, and it is not, it doesn't look like what it looks like online. The shades are not near as vibrant as they are in the picture. But they blended out nicely. They worked beautifully. I love the look. But I don't think it's worth $48. A $50 palette, I mean, they blended beautifully. They were pigmented. But I just don't think that this is that great. Like, I can get a lot of other palettes for that amount of money, and I think I would like them better. It's not a bad palette. Like, if you don't mind, you know, only having a few shades, and like for me, this whole big shade here is useless. Like, that's completely useless to me. So if you like the colors, and I mean, that's totally up to you. I don't want to say I recommend this because I don't think it's worth the money, especially where that huge shade is useless. So it's kind of up in the air. Worked well, but I don't think it's worth it. So this is totally up to you all. I don't want to be like, oh, go buy a $50 palette, you know, and it's just, that's not, no, I can't do that. But if you guys do have this, let me know if you like it. But to me, it's just, it's not worth it. I'm sorry, it really does look good. And I mean, I like it, but I don't love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.